Okay, so what's going on, people? Once again, here I am with that review. I said that I was probably going to do it on Thursday, and here's Thursday, so we're knocking this out. And honestly, I almost didn't because I kind of just still didn't feel like it. I don't know. Not so much of a whole laziness thing, it's just like when I'm not going to have a lot of shoes coming in, I generally like to space things out so that way, things don't get too like stagnant around here or whatever. But then I got a notification this morning saying something about a package should be here today because of one of those little impulse buys on account of this whole quarantine thing. Man, I tell you, it's been crazy. It's been crazy, and like the madness of all these purchases, it's gonna have to stop. But how do you stop the madness, right? How do you stop it? Hulk Hogan. That's how. I mean, at least if this is WCW in the late 90s, if you're familiar with Spring Stampede 98 or Bash at the Beach 99, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so we're not here to talk about that, though it comes up from time to time. We are here to talk about a pair of shoes, though. A pair of shoes that happens to be in this box right here. So we're going to do that. I could also talk about this Lana Del Rey shirt that I'm wearing from the last time and the only time that I saw her many moons ago. But it's mildly irrelevant. It's just something you talk about while you're opening a box, I suppose. So here we go. The box is now open, and let's go ahead. Let's see what's inside. Now, this is a very plain Adidas box, right? But it's also a new Adidas box, at least to me, because when you look on the side of there, you're going to see, if you're reading that anyway, you're going to see something that you haven't seen here before. So I'm kind of looking forward to it in the sense that it's something new. Because again, like when I got those visions, I don't get a lot of new models over here, right? So when I get the chance to try something out, I usually take it unless I have a real reason not to. And in this particular case, these were brought to my attention by McFly KOF. I'll throw a video link up top for, I think he's done recent reviews. If not, I'll just put up whatever he's done recently because I know he's been a busy guy. After all, he is the hardest working man in shoetainment, so you don't just have a name like that and not live up to it. But anyway, so a while ago, he said to me, hey dude, try these things out. And I was like, got it. So $50 later, on account of a 30% off sale that's going on Adidas right now, which you can still get these, here we are. So let's go ahead, open this box and see what's up with what's inside. Okay, right off the top, I'm liking the color. I had my doubts, honestly, but looking pretty decent so far. This other shoe is all kinds of wrapped up in here. So there's that. All right. Does that have the colors on the side? Yeah, it does. It says glow green, sea black, and S yellow. So I think it's like sea yellow or something like that. I don't know. I don't really pay attention a whole lot sometimes. But let's go ahead, look over these, see what we see. Everything seems to be on the up and up. Nothing too crazy going on as far as any sort of weird defects or issues. So I would say that means it is now review time on this right here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Adidas Ozweego in some kind of green and some kind of yellow colorway. Now this, I know it's not everybody's thing visually, and I get that, but you know what? Sometimes you just take your chances and you see how things work out, and that's where we are right now. So we're going to knock out this review, and then I'll share some thoughts at the end if I remember, because I honestly don't always remember. But anyway, so looking across the bottom, right? There's a bit of the bottom for you, and I'm going to have to turn this around so I can see it. And I'll just let you guys look at pictures. So the bottom of this, it's got a pretty busy look to it, honestly. It's got these little circles, not circles, but widely shapen circles or whatever you call those, ovals on one side, and some thinner ones on the other side. Kind of reminds me of the little designs from the side of like the 700s. Then towards the bottom, I don't know what you've got going on there. It kind of resembles orange slices to me. So that's all the black part, and then the rest is white. All right, and then moving on to the outsole, the rest of the side here. It's a very chunky white outsole, or excuse me, midsole going on there. I'm not sure how I feel about it, honestly, but it doesn't much matter. Just looking at it, it does have that kind of dad shoe sort of vibe going on, so if that's not your thing, this might not be your thing, but it's there, right? I've heard these are comfortable though, so stick with me, because maybe we'll find out together that these are actually comfortable. But anyway, so looking at the side of this, it is a little thicker than I prefer things to be, but we'll see how that works out. And as far as visuals go, other than that, there's nothing to really be mad about. It's just a plain white midsole, as a lot of shoes have nowadays. So there's that for you. But now we get on to the upper, and the upper has some things to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump on into that, shall we? So first off, across the bottom here, well, it's not really the bottom, but across the toe area here, right around where the toe is, you have this kind of a plastic sort of thing going on that will, I'm guessing, kind of protect the toe of the shoe from whatever, you know, kind of like how some shoes will have like the plastic around there. This has more of just like a thin film laid over it, so it's probably going to be enough. We'll see. And then moving behind that, you have a mesh going on, which is kind of like that minty green color. I do like the color though. So you got that going on. It's feeling really soft. Let me take this little pile of paper out of here, see what that's, yeah, that's feeling really nice and soft, so I'm liking that. And then that part moving on up is kind of lined with what looks to be 3M and likely is, and then overlaid on top of that, you've got some suede going on, and that kind of finishes off that minus the laces. Now these laces are similar to the same style that you'll see on like some Yeezys. They don't seem to be as thick though. Yeah, they don't seem to be as thick, but they seem to be that same style. So if you know those, you know what I'm talking about. And then intertwined in there for reasons unknown to me, like when I buy gold Jordan 1s, is these little plastic tubes, I guess. It kind of give you this thing like, it kind of makes me think of Bane, you know? Like Bane from Batman, how I had the tubes and he'd get all pumped up and stuff. That's what this shoe kind of makes me think of when I see these tubes on here. See that? See what I'm talking about? Yeah. But anyway, so moving past that, moving down again, you've got on across the side, you've got the standard striping to give you an idea of who made the shoe, Adidas in this case. So those look like they might be lined in 3M on the outside with a little bit of black on the inside, and then a very highlighter yellow color going on the outside. So definitely something that's going to stand out and people are going to notice. And then moving further down at the bottom of those stripes, you have another little layer of this suede, kind of like what you have up here, though it doesn't look quite the same. You can kind of tell there's a slight difference in there, just because the one around the lace, it seems like it has a little more fuzziness going on, if you will. But then down here at the bottom, like I said, same thing. They both feel mostly the same. And then it seems to be a little bit of 3M in there. And there will have been pictures around here just to show you if those are actually 3M or not. And then on here with the tongue. Now this tongue is a little bit of a surprise because it's leather, and I didn't really see that the first time I looked at these. So that's kind of a nice touch, and it feels very plush down the middle of it. You can kind of tell it's got a little extra cushioning going on in there for whatever reason, but it does. So there's that, and then at the top it's got the nice little Adidas logo. So overall, that's kind of a nice little touch. I like the quality of these so far. It seems like they didn't really skip on anything, but we'll find out once we get further into things, right? Because we're not done. So moving to the back, right? You've got another one of these little patches of the suede to hold down this little Bane tube, and then across the back it says 2098 Ozweego Adidas. So I'm not sure what Adidas is. I didn't do any research on these. I rarely do, to be honest with you. I just know that these are supposed to be a comfortable shoe. So moving down though, here you got this sort of neoprene kind of styling going on, which looks similar to what you would see on the back of an Ultra Boost 20. So if you haven't seen an Ultra Boost 20, I've got a few reviews. Go find it yourself. Anyways, so that's there. Seems pretty nice. Overall, looks like it should be pretty comfortable, and it's not heavy, not super light, but it's decently weighted. And then on the inside there, you've got the same thing you always have, which is Adidas, the brand with 3 stripes, and then you have that same thing in German and French, I suppose. But there's that. So that kind of concludes the outside of the, and I'm going to show you the back there so you can see that little logo, not logo, but the text across the back. It also says Adidas down at the bottom, so if you just look a little further under that. But anyway, so it's feeling like it's a pretty decent shoe, and that's great, but let's see how they fit, because that's important. Let's see how they feel, because that's also important. So give me a moment. I'll be right back with that information for you. All right, cool. Okay, so we're back, got everything all tried out and all that good stuff. So real quick before I get those videos in here, just so you have a visual of what I'm going to be comparing to. One, this right here, the i5923, formerly known as the Aniki Runner. That's one that's going to come up. And also, of course, this right here, an Ultra Boost 20, because you got to have something else that's kind of on par as far as super comfort goes. So there we go. Now we can get those videos in here for you guys so you can look at that instead of looking at me. But I'm still here in spirit, and all that good stuff thanks to, movie magic. So here's the thing, right? First off, these have a fit that is a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie. So I say that because they fit kind of like the Aniki Runner, the i5923, and those, they feel like they're a little big. But the one experience I had where I went down half on my second pair of Anikis, it didn't work out so great. I mean, I could still wear them just fine, but it wasn't as comfortable as far as the room and the toe area and all that good stuff. So for me, when I put these on, that was the first thing I noticed. I switched out from my little more running style socks to some thicker socks, and things felt a lot better. So that's one thing I might suggest to you if you kind of think these feel a little weird, but I just want to put that out there. Otherwise, I'm going to say that they are a true to size fit. So there is that. Now, as far as the comfort goes though, and the feeling overall. So one thing I will say is that the initial steps of walking around in these, the top of the tongue was a little stiff and kind of digs into the top of your foot area, where your foot bends, where it meets your ankle and all that good stuff. So I'm sure that's probably not going to be noticeable after too long, and it wasn't even super terrible right here walking around in the living room or whatever. But it's something worth mentioning, is how I feel anyway. So you got that going on, something to think about. Otherwise though, the shoe is really comfortable. It doesn't look like it would be, but it is. I walked around a little bit and I noticed that compared to the Ultra Boost 20s, they do feel a little bit heavier, but that's to be expected because this has a lot more going on in those. They don't have that same slim fit because those feel like a sock, whereas these feel more like a normal shoe, I guess you could say. But overall, just the comfort and the sole was very similar. So I'm not going to say that I like these more or that I like the Ultra Boost more because I don't have enough walking in them to do that. But I will say that these are definitely a contender if you are cool with the look and you're just looking for something comfortable. And past that, the upper, they also, because it is just more of a shoe feel, your foot does feel just a little loose in there. Like I said, because it feels like a somewhat big shoe. But otherwise, I don't have anything else to say much about it. I'm gonna say overall that I do suggest them if you're looking for that. If you're looking for a quick summary, I do suggest trying a pair out, especially at $50. Retail, I don't know. I don't even remember what retail was. I think like $140, and for that case, I don't know. I don't know, because at that point I could get like mostly any other Ultra Boost at any time marked down to $140, So it's just a weird way to look at it. But judging this on its own, very comfortable, little on the heavyish side. That tongue is going to take a little breaking into, and you're probably going to feel like they fit a little weird at first, but if you wear some thicker socks, you probably won't notice that. If you wear thinner ones, then you might notice that. So there we go. There's that. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to say as far as the sizing and the comfort and all that stuff goes. Later on, I'll probably have to do like some kind of follow-up or whatever to say what I think after actually really getting out in them, but that'll be whenever that is. So that means we're done, right? I feel like it does, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I guess the UPS guy is supposed to be here with that box that I ordered from Foot Locker. Like, I got the UPS notification before I got like the thing from Foot Locker saying, hey, those shoes should be here, should be shipping soon. And they're supposed to be here today, which is crazy. But I'll deal with that later. All right, so from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm gonna go get this on foot shot, get this video put up, and then you're gonna watch it. Sounds like a deal to me. What do you say, right? Cool. Thanks, guys.